Hey YouTube, so I wanted to do a quick video on how my life has changed since having gastric bypass surgery. So it's now been 8 months since I've had surgery, and I just wanted to talk about some of the health problems and concerns I had before surgery and now if they've changed since surgery. So before surgery, I actually had diabetes. The highest my A1C got was 8.8, which when I first went in there scared me so bad because you hear people having diabetes and certain complications, and I just didn't want to be that way. And granted, I had never gotten to the insulin part, but I was taking, I tried to take metformin, but it just tore my stomach up too much. It really helped my numbers, but I was just miserable. So I started taking Actos, which really helped. But now after surgery, I no longer have diabetes. When after first after surgery, I checked a lot my numbers because I was just curious. Now I maybe do it once or twice a week just to see. Mostly my numbers come out like in the 90s. Um, and a couple times they've been like high 70s. So my numbers are really good. I can't tell you. I don't remember what my last A1C was. I think it was 5. I want to say 5.6, but I may be wrong. It may be 5.9. Yeah, but it was 5 something. So it's really good. With of course with losing all this weight, it's really helped me um, not have diabetes. Of course, it can come back later in life or things like that. But for right now, I'm diabetes free, which I'm really happy about. Even though my doctor didn't say I had like nerve pain, I believe I did because, or maybe the beginning of it, because a lot of times like my feet would tingle or my legs, or if I walked around they would kind of like fall asleep. Thankfully, that doesn't happen anymore, but it did for a while. I'm sure there were many years I didn't go to the doctor because in my mind I knew I had stuff and I honestly just did not want to know. I did not want to deal with it. Um, so I didn't go. So I'm sure there were several years that I had diabetes that I didn't even know about and I wasn't even taking care of it. Honestly, I diabetes never crossed my mind. I thought, well, I'm sure I have high blood pressure or I'm sure I have high cholesterol, but I never thought about having diabetes. So that's one of the major things I'm so thankful for doing this surgery for because I just didn't want all the complications that come. And I was already kind of having some pre complications. They were noticing before surgery for a while that I had a little bit of protein in my urine, and granted, it wasn't much, but it was the beginning. And, once you get so much protein in your urine, you have to go on dialysis. And to me, that wasn't a life for me. I'm 31 years old, and to have to be on dialysis for the rest of my life it didn't seem like a good plan. It didn't seem worth the trouble and the hassle. And I know people that are young have to do it, but I didn't want to have to. I think that's another thing that kind of pushed me in the direction of having surgery because I I wanted to have a life. I wanted to feel fulfilled and have all like the dreams and hopes that I had growing up. So, another one is I had high blood pressure. I no longer have that. My blood pressure, the top number would be like in the high 140s. Now I go in and they're like in normal range, which is exciting because it seems like the longer I'm out of surgery, even like the lower they get. I mean, they don't get too low, but more like on the like before they were like high normal. Now they're like getting like middle to low normal. So it keeps kind of getting better over time. And I also took what did I take? I took lisinopril for my blood pressure, and also that helped my kidneys, I believe it was. I didn't have any kidney problems, but she was just kind of protecting them, because of course the protein in the urine. um, I also had high cholesterol. I was taking Crestor, and oh, I had high triglycerides. I was taking Levasa. I was taking 4 a day. And if you've seen those pills, like they are so big. They're like prescription fish oil pills, and it didn't taste like anything, but they were just really huge. So I don't have either one of those anymore either, which is amazing. The amount, even though I take a lot of vitamins, just the fact since surgery, since I take a lot of vitamins, it's just like the medicine has gone down, even though the vitamins have gone up. Because I always took like a multivitamin. Um, what else did I always take? I think that's all what I took. So I don't feel like the vitamins have really made my medicine go up because I don't know. It's just good taking vitamins instead of regular prescription medicine. Um, let's see. I used to be I mean, when you're pretty much 400 pounds, I started this journey at 396 before surgery, and when you're that size, you're constantly tired all the time. Like, you are kind of like, you're just living to survive, honestly. It's the best way to put it, and it's, it's sad. It really is sad. And I'm no longer as tired as I used to be because just walking 10 minutes would exhaust me. Walking around the store for a half an hour, I would be dripping with sweat. Like, no joke. It was so embarrassing. And now I can walk around the store for an hour and not sweat. I can walk to the store, walk around the store, and walk back. It's probably like a 15-minute walk to the store for me. So it's a really big difference in being tired and the stamina and just it's it's amazing. It really really is. The sweating problem has gone down a lot for me. I still sweat probably. Yeah, I sweat more than like an average size person, but the amount of sweat has gone down so much. Like when I would say, like right now my hair is wet because I just got back from teaching swimming lessons, but like if I walked home that just that 10 minutes, like my hair would literally be like this wet, if not wetter, like dripping. And um it was very embarrassing. People notice stuff like that, and it makes you more self-conscious, makes you feel worse about yourself. And now I can walk into a store and not worry about that. Like, I feel like I can take my time more, get more exercise, actually look at food labels, and um, not have to worry about just leaving the store completely exhausted and just sweating a ton. Because I would try to read food labels, but I just would sweat so much that after a while I would be like, forget it. So I just need to get in and get out. Um, Another thing is I couldn't like sit crisscross. I now can do that. I used to always be able to sit on the floor and get myself up, but I never could sit crisscross. I can do that now. I can't cross my legs just yet. I can put my like leg on top and kind of do like the square, but I can't cross them yet. And it's amazing just being able to like put your leg like cross on your other leg. It's like so comfortable. I sit like that so much, like all the time. I honestly love it, and I can't wait until I can cross my legs because I'm probably always going to be crossing my legs because throughout my life I really couldn't ever cross my legs. So I know that may seem like such a little thing, but it's a huge thing for me too. So, um, and one thing is when you're in the pool, kind of like guess your fat gets lifted up a little bit because of the waves. So I can actually cross my legs, like if I'm sitting in the pool or even like standing, I can kind of slouch down a little bit and cross my legs. And I do that all the time. I love it. It's so comfortable. Um, Also, I used to be a size like 34 or bigger, maybe even like a 36. Now I am a 24, 22, 24. So I literally lost like 10 dress sizes, and I used to always wear like baggy shirts even when I was the 396 pounds, just because I wanted to hide as much of it as I possibly could, even though I knew people knew I was overweight. And yeah, now I'm starting to wear kind of more like not tight things, but kind of more shape forming things. And it honestly makes you look better. It really does. It makes you look less, it makes you look smaller. And also going along with being tired and stuff, I forgot to mention this. I can walk so much faster than I used to. Probably to walk to the store before it would have taken me 30 minutes, whereas I can probably do it in 15 now. So that's a big, big difference. And let's see, before on my exercise bike, before surgery, I would ride it literally for 15 minutes and I would be exhausted. Like, exhausted. And also, once again, the sweat. It would just be pouring. And now I can, like, ride my exercise bike for 45 minutes and be okay. Granted, I usually take, like, one break for, like, a minute and then I'll get back on. Um, I'll just kind of like stand up and stretch and then get back on. But I mean, I can still like do it and not be like I'm a little tired. Like, oh, I worked out, but I'm not like exhausted. Like, okay, I need to go take a nap now. And also just the portions. In a way, I feel like I have the overeating under control a little bit, and then in a way I don't feel like I do. But I feel like my portions are so much better, and they're more like normal. And to think about before, I could eat a whole pizza. I probably now can only eat one and a half slices. Um, yeah, I could sit down and eat a whole pizza. That's so sad to admit, but it's true. So that's kind of how things are different for me. Um, the way I also want to go over a little bit of how things are different negatively. Um, and the list is honestly really short. The first thing is the hair loss, and I count it as a negative, but kind of a neutral negative because the hair will come back. Like I said before, I've already had hair loss because of hypothyroidism, but on top of that, I've had more hair loss from the surgery, but I know it will come back, so it's kind of a neutral thing, honestly. One of the negative things of gastric bypass surgery is on different days, the same thing affects you differently. One day, cottage cheese can affect me one way. I could eat a half cup, be totally fine. I don't feel overstuffed, and then the next day I could eat it and be overstuffed and feeling kind of queasy. That is probably the number one worst thing about gastric bypass surgery. The amount of times I haven't thrown up in a while. Have I been nauseous and feeling over full? Yes, but the amount of times that happened has gone down extremely. Now, at first, it happens a good bit. I would say the first couple of months is your hardest time because you're kind of figuring out what your body can eat, what it can't, the amounts, things like that. So it's a downfall, but it doesn't happen daily. It doesn't even happen necessarily weekly. Um, so it's a negative in a sense, but also it's something I would take for being able to be at the level I am now. So I really think that yeah, the negatives are bad and they suck, but at the same time, I would do it over in a heartbeat. And a negative maybe for some people to have the scars on their stomach. For me, honestly, I don't really care. I really don't. Another negative could be the loose skin. I kind of care and I kind of don't. In a way, I'm like, well, that skin is my war battle, my battle scars. It's gonna suck for the stomach area the most, but, and those are really all the negatives I feel like I have. I don't really, oh, well, the constipation, I guess that's a definite negative, but it's, um, yeah, that's a big negative. It hasn't gotten easier over time, honestly. I just have to really stick on the fiber every day, every single day, because it kind of feels like you're either constipated or you're not constipated. So, but besides the constipation and the sometimes being sick, um, really I don't have any other bad things from the surgery, honestly. So, like I say, I would definitely do it in a heartbeat. And I hope this kind of helps somebody see like the good and the bad of having the surgery and what it could possibly do for you and your health. So I hope you are doing great, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.